everybody, Pat Huntoon here with Technique Junkies, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a really cool and shimmery ocean stormy sea border along with some clouds to create this ocean background. So we're actually starting with Shimmering Bliss. So this is Ocean Depth Shimmering Bliss. This is a light blue. It's great on white. And what we're going to do is spray and cover this cardstock. And I'm going to show you a little trick. So when you use this, you roll it back and forth so that you can move the any mica that's on the bottom around without getting the nozzle all messed up. So you don't want to shake. If you can avoid shaking, that's a good thing. And what I'm going to do is roll this back and forth, and I'm going to cover this fully and completely. Now this is just regular paper I'm using here. I'm just going to hit this once and cover this completely. Now I was very low to the paper, low down, long strokes, covering as much and as many times as I like to get the look that I want. Now let me show you a little trick. Because we're going to be stamping and rubbing and doing all this many things on this piece of paper, what you want to use is a little bit of hairspray. I'm just using cheap old Aquanet. Yes, they still sell it from my drugstore while it's still wet, and I'm just going to go over this. And you can still see that there's tons and tons of shimmer on this sheet. Can you still see that? It's very shimmery, very, very pretty. So I'm going to set this aside to dry, and once it dries, we'll come back to this. You can hit this with a heat tool if you want. Using a heat tool on it, it'll make the paper curl a little bit. If you can afford to let this dry by itself, that's a good thing. So let's let that dry. So my piece is almost all the way dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting my sheet into a stamp positioner. I've placed Stormy Sea Border SD 1097 Stormy Sea Border into the MISTI, and I'm going to be using Mermaid Lagoon on this, Distress Oxides. So I'm just going to be putting this down, putting a magnet on this, and stamping this. So that's really pretty. So let's move this to the side. So you'll notice I'm using a piece of paper that's bigger than what I'm actually going to need for this tutorial. So this piece of paper is actually 5.5 by 4.25, and the stamp itself is actually only 5.25 inches long. So it's perfect to cut down and proportional to cut down. So the next thing we're going to do is use the Cloud Edger from A Colorful Life Designs. This is the inside of the Cloud Edger. So I'm going to be using some of these edges to create clouds along the top. So I'm just using Distress Oxide and Salty Ocean and my blue blending brush, and I'm starting at the top of the card. And when you use this Cloud Edger, it's really easy. You have this tendency to want to fill in this whole spot, but you don't. All you want to do is push up from the bottom, just like that. And you've created the top of the cloud there. Okay, so I'm going to move this around a little bit, and I'm going to repeat that motion, kind of connect some of these clouds, just lightly. Just push up from the plastic, very simple. Wipe this off because I'm going to use the back side of this just to get some difference in look here. And I'm going lighter on some parts and lighter, a little bit more on that one, I think. And look at that. That is all it takes to make a background with a stormy sea, shimmery, with a cloud background. We're going to cut this down and use it on a card. So that is it for our tutorial today. Very simple. I hope you enjoyed learning about how to make a stormy sea border cloud background. And if you did, give us a thumbs up on YouTube and consider subscribing to the Technique Junkies YouTube channel. Thank you for watching today. I'll see you next time.